And let's hear some music. Sondra Segundo is a multidisciplinary artist that comes from a long line of Haida Raven Clan matriarchs. She is Haida regalia maker, traditional and contemporary artist, author and illustrator of children's books, singer-songwriter, and keeper of ancestral songs. Practicing her cultural arts and singing in her Alaskan Haida dialect has opened doors for her to share her passion and healing with others. Please welcome Sondra Segundo.
Haw'aa hatala is. Thank you, good people. Singyas lagang di talang. Good evening, my friends. It's an honor to be here. I really loved Sasha's book. I could really relate to it as an Indigenous woman growing up in the city. I was born and raised here in the city. My grandparents came here during the 1956 Indian Relocation Act, one of the many acts that tried to erase my people, tried to divide and conquer us. And everything they did didn't work because I'm here right now, and so is Sasha, right? So I can relate. The part I related to the most that really hit me the most was when your ex-husband said, called your long line of beautiful Indigenous women sick, Because I've experienced that a lot, where people that are not Indigenous are telling me who I am and what's wrong with me all the time. One time I went to a party, and this, the conversation went where he found out I was Indigenous, Haida. Oh, I studied your people in college. I get that so much. And then he went on to tell me about myself, and then he got in a conversation with somebody else about my people, and I just was like, bye, and went and talked to somebody else, because I just don't want to waste my breath or my energy on that kind of stuff. But it's something that we've had to deal with a lot in our lives. And, I come from also a long line of strong Indigenous women. And they taught me, what I've realized is that Indigenous people, we've had to live in two worlds. We had to live in the world that we were forced to live in. We were, forced to speak English and forced to live in this world. But then we would go to this happy place with our elders where, they'd be singing songs and speaking in their language and just laughing like they never laugh when they speak in English. My grandmother's generation was the last one to go through the boarding school system. And what joy that we had in our lives during those times in those safe and sacred places were what made me who I am today, telling me the stories. They translated a lot of the songs they learned in the boarding schools into Haida, and they gifted me those songs, and so those songs became a time capsule for our unique dialect, Alaskan Haida. There's only 3 dialects that survived out of over 20, and so that them actually singing those songs to me and everybody just really kept our language alive, and that's why I am able to do all that I am today. And so I wrote this song. I wanted to bring a pan and a spoon because they weren't allowed to. All their drums were taken away, so they would teach me with a pan and a spoon. I thought that would really bring it home, but I was like, I'll try that another day. But that's how they taught me those songs, with a pan and a spoon, just drumming. And so that's where I go to, that safe place. And I wrote this song, and I want to dedicate it to all our ancestors and our elders and our matriarchs, and to Sasha for writing her beautiful book. Always a warrior, living in 2 worlds. We will be here forever. A familiar story lives in me, walking in the big city. walking in indigeneity, a dream come true. We are free, resilient survivor, cancel curse from outside, resilient survivor, ancestral love lives inside. Ooh. Always a warrior, living into worth. We will be here forever. We will be here forever. We will be here forever. Ooh, ooh.
Sondra Segundo.